Alright guys, so I was gonna make a boring video of me just talking about what happened to my car, but instead it's probably better that I show you some video on actual damage and stuff like that, so that way, you know, you guys can see what happened. The dyno didn't go too good, obviously. You've seen the video. So I wanted to show you guys somewhat what happened to it. Yeah, so if you can see right here on the top of the bore, you can see some aluminum that got shoved up in there, and then that corner there, so you can see it's kind of like melted, and then the top of the piston looks peppery. That's the piston itself. So it was seeing some extreme heat, even though it was for short-lived, but it still was seeing some issues. And then there's a little guy right there, aluminum also, so you can see it on the top of the bore that got pushed up. The bore itself looks pretty good. I don't see any problems with the bore. So I could technically take that and get a new piston, and the rings might be fine. I think the only reason why I was losing compression was because of that section right there. As you can see, the rings seat up to this brown spot here. As you can see, there was more. I chipped some of this off of there, but there was a chunk of aluminum here, so it was going on top of that and losing compression. So what are my plans? My plans are right now is I'm going to pull the engine. I hate to say that. I really hate to say that, because I really don't want to pull the engine if I don't have to, because I just put this thing in. But on the other hand, I got a new Toyota head gasket. I am going to pull the engine. I'm going to check the clutch and everything, make sure everything's still running good. I am going to do some changes because I didn't really like that oil pressure sending unit issue. I didn't like that. It's not an issue, but I didn't like how I had to add little adapters. I'm just going to put a 45-degree angle right here and just have it come up at a 45-degree angle. The oil filter is also this whole contraption here is gone. I'm done with it. The reason, it's nothing bad, but this oil cooler is not really doing a lot to help cool the oil. So I'm just gonna just put it right to the block and get a little bit of oil pressure on top of that. It'll add a little bit of oil pressure, which is awesome. And then with the lines, I'll just throw like a L hose on there, and boom, call it a day. Let's see. Oh, the knock sensors, possibly going to change to some better ones. Not 100% sure, but here's the one that I'm going with right here. As you can see, this is basically a wideband knock sensor. So I believe this is off like a Camry, the bolt itself. I don't remember entirely. Do I even have a part number? Oh, I think this is the part number here. I think that's the part number right there. for the bolts themselves. It looks like it. So I'm gonna search it up to make sure, and then I'll put in text that that is the actual bolt. But yeah, this will basically go here, and then it'll basically take the place of this one. And I got another one for the back one. So technically these are more responsive, so I'll put them on. That way if it has like if the engine hears some knock, it'll alert me. I did have the original ones also working at one point, but they were a little bit slow, so it'll detect knock, and I had to put so much filtering in order to keep it quiet enough to detect that. It was way too much filtering, and it would like detect it, and then the next cylinder in the firing order, it would pull timing off of that. It wasn't entirely how it's supposed to work. I could have done a global, how do you say that, a global thing that it, so basically in the ECU, if it detects any knock out of any cylinder, I could have it pull timing out of all the cylinders. Which, the one thing that's the problem with that is you'll lose power by doing that. If it detects it in one cylinder, instead of it pulling timing out of that cylinder and still continuing the rest of them do good with all power, it'll actually hurt the power of the whole entire engine instead. So I didn't choose to do that, so I'd rather have it individually detect. So if cylinder number 6 knocks again, I want cylinder number 6 to pull timing, not the other ones. If 3 is knocking or whatever, pull timing out of that and save it, and that way I can know exactly, all right, 3 is knocking, That's one way. And then I could physically see it in my dash, because I have the knock warnings out of each cylinder, so I could actually tune over to which one is knocking, and I could, all right, let me look at that spark plug, and then I could diagnose it a little further. So like I said, right now it's apart. The engine is actually, it's almost ready to come out. I just gotta pull. Honestly, all I need to do is take the motor mount bolts off, the trans bolts off, and that's it. And she's ready to come out. All the wiring is off, all the hoses are disconnected, and yeah, she should be able to come out right now. So, but I'm not too in a rush, because I only have one day to off. Next week I'll have a little more. So yeah, I'll just I'll leave this to another day, and that way I have, let's say, a weekend that I have like 3 days off. I'll just do this and pull it, take the crank off. I'll make a video also on how the engine has been doing. Like, look at the bearings and look at the crank and look at how, the pistons are doing, because this is my first built motor that I did myself. And honestly, like I said, the walls look really good. I mean, they don't look super glazed, or like, they look really good for, I think this engine has like 2,000 miles, I believe. So it looks really good. So like I said, we're just gonna, I'm not in no hurry. I put some WD-40 and stuff on all that, so that way it doesn't start rusting and cause issues. It's colder now, so moisture is gonna start creeping in. So like I said, I'm going to do that. I'm gonna take the engine out, look at what I need to do, and then I'll call Manly, order a new piston. Obviously, if I'm gonna take it apart, I'm gonna put a new piston in it. You know, the rod's perfect. I'm almost 100% that the rod's fine. And like I said, it was getting it. So it's there. It's there. So if I switch that up, get some knock sensors in there, some better knock sensors, pull as much, you know, pull as much filter as I can, so that way it's just acting on the knock sensor alone. I could work with that, you know, and yeah, so that's about it. I didn't want to make this video super long or anything. I figured I'd do this video so that way you guys can actually see the problem instead of me just, you know, talking and, you know, whatever. So that the head's fine. Everything looked good on the head. I'm not even gonna touch the head. I think I might put valve stem seals on it. I do have some brand new valve stem seals from GSC. Let's go. So I might as well put them in. This is probably the best thing to do, is to put brand new valve stem seals. Oh, one last thing I did want to change. I did want to say the injectors got tested, and the injectors were fine. I wanna be clear on that. The FIC 1650s were in almost perfect condition, so that wasn't the problem. So I got them cleaned. I got them all ready to go. As you can see, they're already in my rail. I just threw them right in because I don't feel like, you know, messing with them. They are lubed, so they could sit like this for a while. So they are clean, they're ready to go. One thing I did do with these was I removed all of the filters. These guys. Now, you might say, well, why'd you do that? You probably shouldn't have done that. Some people might say that. FIC might say that as well. But my problem with them filters is, if you're running pump gas all through them, it's not a big, huge deal. But if you're running ethanol, and ethanol sometimes, the tuner even told me this too, and I was already thinking it. He told me, he's like, yeah, sometimes those filters, they if the car sits for a little bit and then you start running them again, they have like a black film around them. It's not clogging them, but sometimes it could get to a point that it could get as bad as, you know, not being able to flow as much fuel out through them. Now, since I already had a flow problem issue, I decided, you know what, we're not gonna play those little games anymore, and we're just gonna pull all of these. But yeah, we're just gonna end the video out there, and we'll see you on the next one.